everyone, I'm Connor and welcome to my channel The Closet. If it's your first time here, on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury, so if that's something you're into, I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when I bring out new videos. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like to be a luxury consignor, the ins and outs, the kind of commonly asked questions, because I feel like I'm in a very unique position where on one hand, I am a luxury consumer, I'm somebody who scouts the pre-loved market, I'm somebody who purchases in the boutiques, and then on the other hand, I am somebody that actually resells and consigns luxury goods for clients. So I'm kind of in, in the middle, and I can see it from both perspectives. But I do hear people commonly talking about consigners and kind of not questioning the validity of being one, but questioning what do they actually get for consigning with somebody and what is the benefit to them. And then on the other hand, I hear people saying I would only ever use a consignor to sell my luxury goods for protection and because it's easy. So I'm just going to get right into it. First of all, I do want to say that when I woke up this morning, my YouTube channel had hit the 3,000 subscriber mark, and I just want to thank everybody who subscribes to my channel and who has supported me, whether it be complete strangers that I didn't know before YouTube, or people that I am friends with who have been with me on the YouTube journey, or friends that I have now become incredibly close with, like Dale, who have always supported my channel and who have always supported me as well. And I just want to let you know that I'm so thankful for that, because YouTube for me is such a amazing platform where I've been able to share parts of my life with people that I don't really have that, like the actual people, like the physical people. You know what I mean? But I'm just really, really thankful for that. I went from, I think, 260 subscribers in May 2021 to 3,000 subscribers in May 2022 now. So I'm just so thankful for all of that, and you guys are the reason why I keep coming up on YouTube and making videos, because you guys want to see it. So thank you so much for that. But moving on to the video. So basically, for those of you who do not know, I own a luxury consignment business called Conrad's Closet, and I started this business in 2018 formally. Before that, I used to sell privately, or not privately, like I used to sell just as myself, not under a kind of business name, on Facebook groups and marketplace and things like that, where I would find designer items from my friends or family where they wanted to get rid of it, and I knew that I could access platforms where I could sell it for them. So I started off doing it like small tiny little fish in a big pond, I guess, and I kind of learnt the ropes and started off very small like that. Then in 2018, I decided to kind of bite the bullet and formalize creating a business where I could, I don't know, have a alias, or I don't know if that's what you would call it, but have a business in front of myself where I could sell things for clients. I could find things that I know I could clean up and sell, and that's when I started my business, Conrad's Closet. From that point to now, I have sold so many different types of bags. I have been able to touch, feel, smell, model for photos and things, like so many different amazing kinds of bags that I would never have had the opportunity to do so if it was not for my business. So I just want to let you know that I am so proud of myself for the work that I put into my business, and I know I'm not coming across as arrogant, but I'm coming across as somebody who's very proud, because I started my business small and I've worked it up to the point that it is, and that deserves appreciation from myself, because I think it's really important to acknowledge the milestones and the triumphs in your own career and in your own personal life as well, and not just dismiss it because it may come across as arrogant or cocky or all of those things. So first and foremost, that is what I wanted to say on that. Secondly, I love being a consigner. It has brought me so much like personal success, and it has brought me so much love for luxury brands that I always had, but I was able to strengthen, and I was able to share with clients and friends and family, and that is one of the reasons why I do it. It's because I have that passion and I have that drive to do so. So that's the reason why I started my business. It wasn't anything more than that. When it comes to selling luxury goods, it's a very, very delicate balance between selling something where it's desirable in terms of the item, the aspects of the item and the price, versus somebody wanting to go and purchase it brand new in a boutique. Now, obviously there's so many factors that come into play when somebody would want to purchase something pre-loved, whether it be the price point, the availability of the item. So if it's something that's highly coveted, or it's something that has just sold out, or it's something that was a few seasons old that the purchaser could not get their hands on at the time or didn't realize it existed. There's so many things that come into play with selling pre-loved and people's motivations to do so. But I think one of the overall factors with buying pre-loved is that people wanted to get the best value for their money, and they want to be able to get something where the opportunity cost of purchasing it outweighs purchasing it brand new. So that's probably the underlying reason why people choose to buy pre-loved. Now, as you all know, once upon a time, consignment stores primarily consisted of the traditional brick and mortar store, where there was a physical shop and all the goods were laid out, and that heavily played a part into the price of what things sold for, as well as the access to online research and people selling things on eBay and on Facebook groups, where there were no comparatives that you could easily have at your fingertips to check if something was a good deal or if it was worth it, or even just checking the simple thing of the retail price from a fashion luxury house's website. Consignment stores were very almost niche because they sold pre-loved or secondhand goods, but they were kind of in their own league when it came to that. Now, obviously, the pre-loved market is incredibly diverse, it's incredibly saturated as well, and everywhere you kind of look, there's a new consignment store popping up on Facebook or Instagram, and there is just so many different options out there, which personally I see as more of a bonus than a deterrent for my own business, because it allows people to see what's out there. It means I can strengthen my niche of what I sell and how I sell things, and how I can differentiate myself from other businesses out there. In terms of why they've become so popular is because I think people are becoming incredibly ambitious, and everybody wants to have a side hustle. And I think that we're now in a generation, well, more so my generation, where your primary income isn't necessarily enough. And if it is enough, you have more ambitious financial goals where you want to buy that house, you want to fund a lifestyle that would be irresponsible or not so smart, I guess, to do so on one sole income. So people are opening up businesses and little side hustles where they can be more financially ambitious, and I think it's absolutely amazing, and I think it's such a good thing to do, and that's primarily one of the reasons why I started my business as well. Like I was saying before, my business is not something that I use as my primary source of income. I have a full-time job, and this is, I guess, my side hustle. But because I'm so passionate about it, and I'm so, I guess, informed in the luxury market and the luxury goods, sector, that I don't see it as like, oh, I've got to do work. I see it as something that I can be creative in. I see it as something that I can be social in, and I see it as something that I love to do, and that is emulated in how I interact with customers, the kinds of items I sell, and everything else in between. So whilst I am passionate about it, I still do need to allocate time in my week to put that back into my business, to liaise with clients, to source out stock from clients, and to do everything else that kind of has to keep your business relevant and keep it viable, I guess. Social media presence is my main source of advertising. It's my main source of where I sell things, and I do not have a website. I don't sell off a website. I sell 99% of my things through my Instagram account, Conrad's Closet. So making sure that I am present on social media, whether I'm selling something or not, is incredibly important, because if you stop doing that, people will forget about you. People will move on to the next consignment store, they'll move on to the next business that they have on their Instagram feed, and you will be forgotten. I might be selling something that 5 other businesses are selling, and why would they want to purchase it from me when I'm not really active? So it's so important to kind of put that time into your business and factor that in. Secondly, selling is a 24-hour, 24/7 job, and if somebody is buying something pre-loved, they want to be able to talk about it, message you, you know, at any kind of time of the day, whether it be 11 p.m, 12 p.m, 7 a.m. If they want something, they will buy it, and people want stuff now. They want information now, because if they don't get it, they will move on to the next person. Like I was saying before, what you're selling, 5 other businesses may be selling the same or something similar. So if you're not responsive, people forget about you, and they will just be like, well, I'm not going to contact Conrad's Closet anymore. They took forever to respond to me, and I'm not about that when shopping for luxury. So there's that. I think one of the biggest misconceptions with what people think about consigners and whether they're worth it or not is that when you are choosing to consign an item with a business, you are handing over your luxury good to them, and they will do all of the work from receiving the bag to the customer getting the bag. And that may seem like such an easy thing, but I would compare it more so to I guess being a real estate agent and selling a house for somebody versus selling it yourself. There's so many rules, there are so many transactional problems that could arise, there is so much risk associated with selling luxury goods, just like selling a house, because it is such a hefty purchase, you know, transaction and monetary value on something. There is always room for error, there is always room for things to go wrong, and there's always risk involved in that. And I think people underestimate just how risky it can be. Also, when you choose to go through a consignment store or a reseller, you are leveraging their contacts and their audience for your good to be sold. If you don't have an established audience, whether it be on social media, whether it be through a business or whatever it may be, you're not going to sell it to somebody. And if you are going to sell it to somebody, you're not going to get it at a price that's the market value or that's what the bag is actually worth. You're going to be undercutting yourself. So whilst you do pay a fee to a consigner, generally what they're going to be selling something for isn't going to undercut you to a point where you've basically given the item away. And I think a lot of people do forget about that. For example, I have a social media platform, whether it be on my personal Instagram account, my YouTube Instagram account, and then my business Instagram account. Combined, I have nearly 6,000 followers. And I know that may seem like a little tiny amount, but a majority of those people are purchasing luxury goods. And they are seeing what I have to sell, I guess, and that is a very, very valuable thing to have. Having an audience an audience that's actually relevant to what you're selling is worth a lot. And somebody actually messaged me wanting to buy my business account because they wanted the followers on it, which I find that so funny. But having followers in today's world is like having an audience that is sitting in front of you waiting for you to do something, and people pay for that. When a consigner receives a bag to sell for somebody, they won't just open it out of the box where it's been sent from and just start taking photos of it. Generally, there is a condition report that is done, there is photographs, there is generally cleaning or staging the bag. Sometimes clients don't know how to store bags properly, but it can be fixed. So, you know, massaging the leather back into a position where it looks better, you know, polishing hardware, maybe this kind of item that you're selling is missing a few items that would deem it not a full set, whether it be a receipt holder or a ribbon or things like that, that kind of add to the luxury experience that the everyday person may not have thought about. Us consigners, I've got probably 2 kilometers of Louis Vuitton ribbon. I'm not even joking. I have a container that's this big that is full of Louis Vuitton ribbon, Hermes ribbon. I've got about 500 receipt holders. I've got perfume samples. I've got so many things that add to the luxury experience and make somebody feel like they're getting the best value for money when buying pre-loved. All of those things obviously take a lot of time, and what may seem like just a few photos on an Instagram page and, you know, a bit of lighting is completely undervaluing what actually goes into it. Generally, the average bag that I would sell takes about, depending on the condition, but let's just say it's the average, anywhere from half an hour to probably half an hour to 45 minutes to prepare, get ready, clean, make it presentable, package it, stuff it, make it look great and ready for somebody to receive it. And that's just to take photos. That's not including time with, you know, the 8 to 10 messages you may get from somebody asking for different photos, how it looks in natural light, all of those things that kind of come into play when selling. And you might, you know, do an hour worth of communicating with people, whether it's back and forth or it's, you know, getting them to check with a friend, for them to just not respond in the end. And that's just part of the job. That's part of selling anything, I guess, is people wanting information. So if you were to add a time value onto what you're doing and then convert it into what you, I guess, would be paid as an hourly rate, you can't really, you know, it would appear to be not worth it, I guess. So, you know, you're always working, you're always doing things related to that, and you're always trying to act within the best interest of the client who is actually getting you to sell the bag. And also making sure that the item is, of course, authentic, getting it authenticated, liaising with authenticators, making sure that you're not misrepresenting a bag to be authentic when it's not. Due diligence 101, I guess. So many things come into play like that, and that is what contributes to the commission that a consignor would sell or take off what they're selling. Like I said before, I love what I do. I love selling luxury goods. I love liaising with clients. I love seeing them enjoying their purchases. That is all part of it. But on the flip side of that, it's not just as simple as putting up Instagram photos and, you know, showing off things online. I worked incredibly hard to build up my following on my Instagram page. I think for the first year of selling stuff, I was either selling it and breaking even or making very, very, very minimal money on what I was selling. And it was to establish a reputation, it was to build a following, and it was to get the word of mouth out there. And for me, if anyone knows what it's like to build up an Instagram following, it's not easy. It takes time, and you can't buy followers. I know you technically can buy followers, but there's no point me having 2,000 Russian prostitutes following my business page. That's not going to do anything for me to sell stuff. So, you know, it takes time and it takes a lot of work to build up a reputation, and you've got to be really good at what you do in order to get a reputation. So that's it, I guess. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that I could give some insight on what it's like to be a consignor. But thank you so much for all your support to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And I would love it if you could hop onto my business page on Instagram, Conrad's Closet, my YouTube account, The Closet by Connor. And I would appreciate any and all of the support. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.